what's up everybody? Hope you're all doing great. I'll just be reviewing what I usually do when I draw. Well, at least this painting anyway, because my art style changes every second of my life. The biggest struggle that I usually have is the beginning. The beginning of my paintings, I always have the issue of, oh, I really hope that this comes out good. Which I shouldn't. It should be the journey that makes you really interested. Let's see. I start with a sketch and then get all these colors out. I make sure that I know when I come back what I'm doing. So I make sure that my sketches basically have an idea of what I'm doing. If I don't really have it, I don't remember properly. So I always make sure to sketch or at least color as much as I can before I go on to the next stage. Okay, now we're playing. So as you can see, I just start immediately into rendering all of my faces. I have this tendency to do detailed faces first before I do anything else, which kind of takes away from the piece because then everything else looks really exhausted. I realized that this color wasn't gonna really do well with the scheme that I was doing, the whole yellow. So I changed the face. I changed the face like 12,000 times in this. It's really hard. Okay. So, what I struggle with the most, I've realized, is consistency. My art style is very inconsistent. I could be looking at something and I'll be like, oh, I like this art style, and then I start drawing that art style, and then in the middle I'll look at someone else. And then it messes up everything, so that's why I started all over, continuously. So what I would like to point out is that color values, well, coloring, I tend to not have the highest priority in, which is why a lot of the colors here are very mute-ish, don't have a lot of vibrancy. It's not very vibrant. I just make sure that the color values look nice. So as you can see, I put a lot of like light reflections on her chin and such like that. Oh, and the eyes. The eyes are really important for me. I think that's really sells the piece the most. I really had difficulties doing this. I didn't know if I wanted to have her crying or kind of like melting in a way. Her lips. I really like drawing lips, so I wanted to make sure that there was a lot of detail there. As you can see, I change it a lot. Bunch of airbrushing. A big issue is that I've seen people do, sorry, is that they usually like to blend too much. I feel like if you're blending, you should really try and airbrush first. You should only really use at least 3 brushes. At least from my experience, this is what I'm telling you what I do. You need a hard round brush, soft airbrush, and a very textured brush. Preferably a lot of hair in it. Like hairy brushes look really nice. Unfortunately, I did not complete the... I did not record when I was doing the fisherman for this piece. I did it all off camera by accident. I'm really sorry. But what I did when I was doing it, I found pictures of straw hats, and then there's a certain tab. If you click filter in Clip Studio Paint and you go to effect, there's artistic. Artistic allows the colors to like clump together, and it looks really nice when you do it. So that helps me a lot when I'm trying to combine colors and not make it too detailed. Now, the difficulties that I went through when doing this For sure, and hands down, the hair. The hair was the most difficult part of this entire thing. Because I wanted it to look so nice. Kind of like Art Germ or Sakimi-chan kind of vibes I was going for. Also, recommendation if you're doing this, a lot of doodle breaks. A lot of doodle breaks. Please doodle, it will keep you sane. This took me at least 8 hours. And usually I will do pieces like this in 3 hours, maybe 6 hours. But because I was just so not sure what I wanted to do, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do at all. Very not sure of my objective. So I was dawdling a lot. Dabbling. This was one of the first times I did the eyes. I did not know if I wanted like melty fishbowl kind of eye. But in the end I decided to do some sort of iridescent kind of mosaic. Like a lot of polygons. This is so exciting. Just watching this with you. You guys are great company. It's just me. It's just me here talking to a screen. Oh, actually I really like that. I like the way I did that. I should have kept that. Huh. Aw, now I'm regretting. Oh. Oh, I messed up a little bit. Oof. You see how hard it was to do the lips for me. It took me so long. A speed paint will never express how much difficulties I have with this. I think my biggest weakness in terms of art in general would be, hands down, liner. Liner and consistent textures. I never remember half the brushes that I use. So I always end up picking up another brush in the middle, which usually makes my art pieces really interesting. But you know, when I want to make it perfect and smooth, it's not the best to do. Oh, I can see how I'm refining it. It's so crazy, like looking back at what you do when you draw. Wow. You might see me doing lasso tool a lot. I do lasso tool like that so I don't go outside of my objective of what I'm doing. Plus it gives me more freedom to do harsher lights without thinking too much. When I'm using the lasso tool, I'm usually using the airbrush, so it transitions nicely. Oh, the iridescents are coming up! Oh no, I wish the speed paint showed it more. I had so much fun doing that. I really realized that since her eyes were really big, I wanted to transition her sclera to match really well with the coloring. Oh, another thing I had a lot of difficulty with was the water. I wasn't really sure which direction to go with the water. I tried so many things. I tried HD pictures of seafoam on Google. Look, I'm doing it. I took pictures of seafoam. I tried to transition it into the water. I got these texture brushes. I tried putting them in the water, as you can see. I tried putting different colors in the water because I'm thinking, oh, maybe that will show the reflection of the light that I wanted. And nothing really worked. It was really hard. I really like that hat. I did that hat so well. I'm so proud of that hat. I'm never gonna do that again. Letting you know right now, not possible. Not possible. Ooh. Oh, this is why I decided, oh, I want to make her look like a bride. Oh my gosh. Since I'm here, I need to tell you something. Forgive me for rambling. Okay, so I've been playing Dragon Quest XI lately. If anyone knows Dragon Quest, please talk to me about it. I really need company. No one talks to me about it ever. I recently started, when I took a break from art, I started playing Dragon Quest XI. It's such a fantastic game. It's really great. I thought I should play it since the hero character was in Smash. It was so fun, but spoiler warning, if you're playing it, there is this character named Michelle. And, well, this is the character that I'm drawing, Michelle. Long story short, she fell in love with a human, but the lifespan between a human and a mermaid is drastically different. I guess she forgot that. So her husband to be died, and she never knew. It really made me sad. You can ask anybody. I cried so hard. I showed my friend Kyo. She's so heartless. What a horrible person. She's such a horrible person. I showed her like all of the cutscenes of her dying. Michelle dies. She literally goes. I tell her that her husband's dead, and she's like, no, I don't believe you. And she goes to the island to find his grandson. The grandson looks so much like him, even though they're not related, which is crazy. And he says, oh, my grandfather's dead, and shows her the grave, and she kisses the grave, and then she like dies. She kisses the grave. She sings a song that turns her into a human. But for the folklore in this game, if they touch water, they'll die. And she throws herself into the water, and she says, oh, we'll finally be together, Kai. She dies. I cried so hard. And then I told Kyo. And I was showing her all the cutscenes, and she just looked at me and she's like, dang, tragic. Her husband! She killed herself! And Kyo's like, oh, well, I'm not that sympathetic about it. And I'm just like... Are you a demon? Like, how do you not feel empathy for that? This is so cruel. Oh. But, so, she made me cry so hard. I cried 3 times. I cried when I watched it. I cried when I showed Kyo. And I cried when I talked about it again. And how much it meant to me. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, a little tear. Okay, I'm getting a little emotional. But it was so good. It wasn't that important to the plot, but it was so good. I loved it so much. So I wanted to make her immortal in my heart by drawing something of her, because I love her so much. She is my girlfriend. Okay, we're in love. She doesn't know it, but we're in love. She's my lover. Kai is the guy in the boat. He's the fisherman that she fell in love with. I think that's so cute. Just think about it. She's like a fish. She's a mermaid. She's kind of a fish. And he's a fisherman. Just like, oh, kind of picked up his girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know if you're... I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say. But like, I just think it's kind of flirty and kind of cute. Oh! It's happening. The hair. It gave me so much trouble that I put off for so long. Oh yeah. Okay, so just in case anyone needs to know, I used rough pencil. It's in Clip Studio Paint. There's a rough pencil to do all the strands and the little highlight scratchy areas. I used an airbrush to get the gradient down, and then I used the pencil to just scratch it in. I had no idea what I wanted to put on her head. It's so difficult. But then I decided not to do any flowers. I don't know. I felt like the flowers would distract from the piece of just like their raw love for each other. Them looking at each other. I wish I could have drawn Kai, but there was not enough references of Kai. There was more references of the grandson since he was more essential in the piece. So crazy seeing how I draw, wow. I don't really look too hard at it. I don't really sit down and reflect. It's really pretty. There's a few things that I haven't drawn before in this piece. Well, for once, a veil, cloth in water, water up close, and wood. Oh, and the straw hat, of course, yes. I think that was really interesting for me. I don't usually do art studies. I usually only start studying when I'm doing it in the moment, which is a bad habit, but I tend to paint a lot, so I don't really have time for art studies unless I'm painting, which is almost every day. I usually draw every day, and it's some people ask me if it's annoying or like tedious, but I really like drawing, and I really like just seeing my art pieces come to life and how other people interpret what I'm trying to say in my art. So it's really fun putting down an art piece and just placing it there for the world to see, for people to see, and people get to tell me how they feel about it. I tend to doodle in the middle of painting. Yes, that was a doodle. And I dropped myself. You weren't supposed to see these. I don't know if I can explain. I don't know if I can explain all of those. I can't explain this. I can't. I would have to explain the whole story as to why I pulled up those images. And it's a little difficult to explain. If you'd ever like to hear the story as to why I did that, feel free to ask sometime. Oh, I need to tell you. I'll be streaming a lot more often now. I just need to find out how to be able to show my VTuber. I need to be able to show my VTuber while streaming, which is a big toll on my computer, but hopefully we'll be able to get through it and be able to talk with you guys a lot more. I hope you'll have me, is what I'm trying to say. I hope you'll have me. It's very fun. Very fun talking. I talk a lot on a regular basis, so this is not much of a difference for me. Yeah. I don't think I recorded most of the water. No, I did not record most of the water. It was very difficult trying to translate what I wanted to do. I found out that a lot of hatching, cross-hatching works very well when you want to portray very pretty type of water. If you ever need a tutorial on anything, just ask and I'll do my best. Well, as we're wrapping up this speed paint, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that some of you watch my stuff. It means a lot. Bye.